She's mighty, mighty, just letting it all hang out 'cause she's a brick house. She's rocking it 1 pound at a time, rocking it 1 pound at a time, a brick house. Hashtag 1 pound at a time. Hello everyone, it is your girl, Boss Lady Lexi. How are my little bosses doing? Welcome to everyone. I do ask that you thumbs up this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I notice I haven't said that in any of the videos that I have uploaded lately, but today's video is going to be a story time of when I wanted to be a stripper and when I wanted to be a sugar babe, to have a sugar daddy. Where does it all begin? So just sit back, grab your popcorn, get your favorite drink, and just enjoy the story. Well, once upon a time, there was a young person named Lexi. And Lexi wanted to be a stripper. And I really didn't know too much about being a stripper, to be honest. I just, figured that all you did was just took your clothes off, and I felt like if that was the profession that I wanted to be in, hey, I didn't think anything was wrong with it. I mean, I wasn't sleeping with anybody, but I'm sure that, being a stripper, at some point in time, it does lead to, or would have led to, prostitution. And I didn't want to look at myself as, quote unquote, being a whore or a whoremonger or a home wrecker or anything like that. So I just, kept pondering it in my head. Then I thought, later on down the line, I was like, well, I think, I started doing some little researching and stuff about it. And I was like, oh, well, I definitely know that being a stripper is out. For one, I didn't know how to climb no pole or do any of that kind of stuff. No sexy, provocative dancing or anything to entice a man. And I came up with that scenario because I was always the pocketbook girl. Whenever I went to the club with my cousins, or, hanging out with coworkers and things like that, no one never approached me to dance. So I just figured, after thinking about all of that, that, that was not going to be the right job for me. So then I moved on to something I figured that would be bigger and better. I did so much research on it, and I decided that I wanted to have a sugar daddy. Now, before I even get to the part of the sugar daddy part, I left out something that was very, very important. And what I left out was, I started thinking to myself, with being a stripper, consequences. because there's always consequences behind everything. Any and everything that you do, there's always going to be consequences behind it. So I thought of the consequences of the embarrassment to my children, the embarrassment to my foster family. And I don't even know why I even gave a hoop about that, because they didn't care anything about me by beating me and, treating me bad and bullying me. So I just figured, that was like the only route out there to take. So I just then, just put that to the side, because I knew that also, to be a stripper, you had to have like sexy clothes and wear high heel shoes, and I didn't have any sexy clothes. And then I thought, they probably wouldn't even have made those type of clothing in my size. So that's how I came to the next thing as to wanting a sugar daddy. Now, wanting a sugar daddy is there's so many different types of sugar daddies out there. You have the type that, oh, I want to see you maybe twice a week or twice a month, something to that effect. Or you may have the one that, they just want to talk over the phone. You may have the one that, wants to just see pictures of you. Then you might have some that just want some type of companion to just come and sit and hold their hand and just listen to them. So those are just some scenarios. There are all types of different sugar daddies out there. And wanting to have a sugar daddy, I felt like that was going to be the best thing for me, as far as, really there's no true commitment in my book, the way I see it. You know, you get an allowance, and that's the part that I was like, oh, I could stay at home, and I could have I finally could get what I want, the finer things in life, be able to provide for my children, start numerous businesses, you give back, because that's my main thing that I want to do in life. I know 50 years of my life is gone, but I still have a new chapter, a new page, a new start to continue to wanting to give back and give to the homeless, rehabilitate foster kids. I just want to do so much to be an advocate of a person who wasn't given a chance at life. So, I figured that, I could start all kinds of businesses and give back, you know, selling hair. Fast forward, now with my paparazzi, that would be another, stream of income, to where I just didn't have to too much rely on my sugar daddy but for so much. I could use one source of income for one thing and another source of income for another thing. And, I studied on how to be persistent in what you want from your sugar daddy. your demands and what you will accept and what you won't accept. You have to be stern. I mean, I did so much research. I looked at the fact of, you know, I don't think at the time age was a factor back then. But I'm quite sure now age is definitely a factor if I was to wanting to go back into that world of wanting to be a stripper or wanting a sugar daddy. But like again, I said the stripper part is, is completely out. But you know, I see how um wanting a stripper. I'm sorry, wanting to have a sugar daddy um was like the right path for me, but then in reality, it wasn't a good path for me being a mother and raising two daughters, and as they got older, they would probably want to know how is mommy making her money, if she's not clocking in a 9 to 5, that type of thing. Um, and how are we getting all of these lavish things and even if I still thought of it today, um, of wanting a sugar daddy, I just don't foresee it because, as again I said, there is consequences. It could be death. It could be you getting yourself hurt or your children getting hurt, somewhere along the line, somebody is going to get hurt, or let's just say the sugar daddy passes on and you're so used to that stream of income from that one particular person and then you don't have it anymore, like what are you going to do? So you have to really really think about all of the aspects of wanting a sugar daddy. So I did all of that, but then I came to the conclusion that, again, as much as I would love the finer things in life, going down that road would definitely be wrong for me. Being a Christian, a born again Christian, and wanting people to follow me as I follow Christ, wanting people to look up to me and respect me. And they would probably be like, how can we respect her when she doesn't even have respect for herself? Now, these are just, again, this is my own story. I'm not judging any, um, in particular, people out there in the world that are strippers and those that do have sugar daddies and, all types of whatever. I'm not judging you all at all. This is just my story and how I felt about wanting to be in that profession of the world, and I know I never got any type of love and affection from anybody. I know how I've been used and abused, and I've been hurt, I've been stepped on, I've been, everything. So, excuse me. That's why I wanted to go into that field because I felt like it would give me an opportunity to really be accepted in a world where, you know, oversized people are not accepted. And I did research on, what are the odds
of a plus size woman, getting a sugar daddy. And believe it or not, there's a lot of plus size women out here that do have sugar daddies. However, their mindset isn't to where they're gaining anything other than weight, because they are not looking at the huge number, to give to their sugar daddy, of how much money they want to earn, or the allowance that is given. They'll settle for, hey, give me a pizza, um, maybe a pair of shoes. I need some new pajamas, some groceries for the kids, that type of thing. But I had written down, y'all. This is serious. This is not no joke or anything like that. This is a true story time. I wrote down how much I would want, um, weekly, monthly. I also wrote down the things that I would want from my sugar daddy that he was going to have to, um, supply on demand. But then again, I said that though everything comes with consequences. And, what if your sugar daddy, or the one that, has decided that, hey, I'm going to meet your demands, this, that, and the other. And, you know, what if, once you've gotten comfortable with that allowance that you have settled down, with, and I'm just going to throw a ball figure number out there. So let's just say that I chose $50,000 a month, and if there was other special things that he had requested, then there would be an additional $20,000 as a bonus. So hey, I just thought of all of this, and wrote all of these things down. But then, being a born again Christian, I had to think about how would this look if, the church found out, um, biblically knowing that I know, just me, that I know that, I think it's wrong. Because I know if I lay my burdens down and I just talk to God and, make my requests known unto Him, the things that I need or want, because, your needs and your wants are two totally different things. Um, I just knew that it was just it was just wrong. And I guess, as you all know, if you've been following me a long time, I do live in a fairy tale world where I just believe that good things are going to happen, blessings are going to happen. Um, Not everybody is going to be, let me just change this. Trouble don't last always, you know, and I've had dreams. I've had, I'm just trying to think of the right words, y'all, because sometimes my words just don't come out the way that they should come out. But I'm just really trying to think of how to say this, man. I get so frustrated. Um, you know how God reveals things to you, and when God reveals things to you, it may not come when you want it. It may not, it doesn't have a set date. There's no timestamp on when it's supposed to happen. But I'm learning that through the revelations of things that have been presented to me through my prayers and through manifestations and through God talking to me and revealing things to me in dreams, that they are going to come to pass. I just have to just wait, and God reveals to people also, um, in the blessing business, of how and when, because sometimes people look at it as, oh my goodness, I was at the right place at the right time. And that is oh so true. That is just oh so true, because you didn't know that, hey, if I go to the grocery store and I'm gonna, just do my normal, pick up my groceries and, go to the line and, get checked out, and someone says, hey, I'm gonna pay for everything that's inside of your basket, or, whatever the case may be. You didn't know that. You just know that you went to the grocery store to your normal errands, and, that just should happen, and it's a great thing, and it's a blessing, because, when you sow seed, giving back to God, because God only asks for 10% of your earnings, and you live off of the 90%. So, through your sacrificing and whatever else that you have done, maybe you paid extra in donations to whatever fund or whatever situation there is, in the church, you've done that. And I was just like, that's just a good thing. And I'm always happy for other people's blessings. And that's when I knew that wanting a sugar daddy is just not for me either. And I know that might sound strange and crazy to a lot of people, because it's like free money, free luxuries, free royalties, all of that. But I had to think within myself that, I think now more that there's consequences for everything. I've had enough time to sit down and, think about it and meditate on it. And, through this pandemic that we are living in, I had time to just really sit and think and meditate on these things. And I'm not saying like before the pandemic started, that's when I decided that, oh, I wanted to be wanted a sugar daddy and wanted to be a sugar babe. No, I've been thinking this a long, 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 a long, long time. Those times, those long, long times. Yes, I've been thinking this like years and years and years. Even before my kids were born, I've been thinking about it. But I just had to know within myself that's not the life for me. I've never really lived that fast life. Um, because that's how I look at it, as it's a fast life, um, just as well as, being a stripper. And even if, let's just say, I decided that I didn't want to be a Christian anymore, and I chose that, hey, I do want to, go down this fast road. Well, it wouldn't be beneficial for me because, one, I can't even imagine what sugar daddy would pay a disabled person like myself the type of money that I would even ask for. That's number one. Number two, how would I even, get around to even seeing my sugar daddy, or because I don't have a way to get there. Three, I think sugar daddies look for a certain type of facade in women, and I know I don't meet those qualifications. So I just know that the balls is just not looking good in my corner, okay? Um, so that's my story time, y'all, of when I wanted those things. Now, I know some of you all are new to the channel and everything like that, and you're probably asking or saying to yourself, what's up with this girl? Is she off or something like that? No, I am not off or anything like that. It's just I was a foster child. Um, I was an abused foster child. How about that? And I grew up in poverty. I grew up having to really struggle to take care of myself. And I figured, having a sugar daddy would alleviate some of the burden that I had to carry, as far as being a single mom, um, and I figured, I've been wanting to talk about this and bring some light to the forefront of the frivolous things that Boss Lady Lexi has wanted to do in her lifetime. And it's just so crazy how we think things are easy, and it's not. But I do believe that you have to work hard, really, really hard, and you have to be consistent, and you have to have a consistent prayer life, um, with talking to God and just laying all of your troubles and your burdens and everything on Him, because He really cares for you. Jesus really cares for us all. And I just be like saying to myself, when I think about the fast life, and when I think about people who are well off and well to do, and they have this going for them and they have that going for them, but you really don't know what goes on through their minds psychologically, at the end of the day when it's time to shut down. They may still have um, some problems, and again, I'm using not, they may feel, in a way where they're missing out on something else. you know yeah, you have the finer things in life, and you have this, that, and the other, but you still might be missing something, you know. It could be like you're just lonely, and I'm just using these as examples. It could be like you're lonely because you don't really have like friends, because a lot of friends may be jealous of you because of, you're so well off now, and you're so high above, and people who are high above, some of them tend to look snooty and look down on, those who are not well off. So, you could be lonely and or like missing your friends, like somebody who you may have to let go because they're not in that caliber of where you are, or things like that. You just never know, like I said, what goes on behind closed doors in people's life. You know, you just don't know. You have people out here that has millions of followers, but when the camera goes off, when the lights go off, there's still a world, and a lot of people have committed suicide. A lot of people have turned to drugs, all because of that good old thing called loneliness. And yes, loneliness is a sad, sad, sad affair. Yes, it is. But that's my story time, y'all, of how I wanted a sugar daddy and how I wanted to be a stripper. But I know better. I don't think that I don't think I could have actually gone through with it. But if you like my story times and you want to hear more story times of me, just let me know. See you in the next video.